Hello everyone, welcome to Anether again. A few things have changed since the last time around. If we get a bit of lag, I don't know what it is, but I'm running in windowed mode to try and reduce it. First thing, we've got this little notice board. I've shifted most of the alchemy stuff over here, with the crafting and stuff. I've got this little automated crafting table, so I can just get some mushroom soup whenever I need it. And just toss it back in there and it's all ready to go again. Paved out a few more rooms. Got the start of a storage area over here, which I'm thinking will probably have some pipes going into, which is why these are 3 wide, rather than I need kind of 2 such. Automated my macerating a little bit, so I stick stuff into this chest and it gets gradually pulled through by this timed macerator. Timed transposer, which is sucking things that the macerator has space for into the top of the macerator, like here. Ooh, oh, by the looks of it, we're out of power. I converted all my coal into charcoal with the Philosopher's Stone, so we don't need to worry so much about that. So how about spending as much of our EMC on that for now. Rig this up for coal dust, and that's to tie in with our... There's a lot of mobs around here. I've been thinking about getting like a Tesla coil or something. But here's our jobs for the day. We're going to make a mass fabricator, which is a fairly advanced piece of kit. We kind of need to do it in order to get our hands on clay to make bricks, to make an alloy furnace, which will let us do quite a few things around the place. We need to move the machines to the machine shop, and the storage to the storage room. We might not figure that out just in this today, but I don't know. Depends how much time I spent on this. Automate macerating, we've got the bases of that just yet. Automate tree harvesting. We can now summon any kind of tree that we want, as well as the resin that we need, so we don't really need to worry about having the actual trees on standby. Figure out a door system, because we've got this 3x3 space, and we don't really have much in it. I mean, I've cleared out all this space in each and every one of these to just have room for something, but we don't actually have any idea what to put in here at the moment. And I'm thinking it'll be like an EVO-style 3x3 door, or possibly something involving frames, if we can somehow get that working. Problem with using frames, though, is that we need to have Nicolite, which does not occur in the Nether. But right, let's get to work on our macerator, shall we? Now, to make a macerator, mass fabricator, we need 2 advanced circuits, a Lapotron crystal, some glowstone, which we are happily creating in the back room there, and a pair of advanced machine blocks. We also need a fairly large amount of power. But this is what we've been having going in the back room at the moment, where we've got our materials going. We're making glowstone, because it's a fairly large source and we need it for a fair bit. And we've got some diamonds. I believe yeah, there's my Klein. My Kleiner, I suppose. Up, Lamar, up. Okay, so what should we get to work with first? Let's get this Lapotron crystal going, shall we? So we need an energy crystal, a pair of electronic circuits, and some lapis. We still have our goodies chest over here. Ooh, that's almost all of that. Okay, and we're gonna need some redstone. And some diamonds. Let's see, just the one diamond should do it. I've already moved the redstone over into our storage room over here. There we go. Let's see, it takes 8 to make the crystal. Another 2 each for... Yeah, I actually know what this noise is. If you hear the weird kind of whinnying sound, that's the hell horses, which occasionally the pigmen will ride, but apparently the hell horses are actually like hostile towards the pigmen. I don't know why this is, but oh well, I can't really complain much. Okay, there's our energy crystal. And we're going to need some refined iron. We have no refined iron in here at the moment. How's our power going here? Good. Okay, let's stick this in our iron furnace. Yep, we're making stone wafers, which I needed to get the timer going up there. Let's just look up timer and I'll show you how it works. If you resmelt stone in this, you get these stone wafers, which you combine with redstone to make the stone wires, 3 of them with 4 redstone to make the stone anodes, 1 of them with a redstone torch to make a cathode, and some more stone and a redstone torch to make a pointer, and that put all that together and it makes this timer. which has configurable rates of turning around, so you can make it fill up the whole thing really quickly, or you can do it really slowly. I've elected for slowly because it means I hear that clicking noise a lot less often. It's kind of up to your personal taste, I guess. I believe I have some copper wires around here somewhere. Or I should do if I haven't incinerated them all. Two copper wires, right, so that's something we need to fix. Oh, and there's some refined iron. Okay, copper. I guess we just, we're gonna have to summon forth some of that. Let's get a stack, we can afford it. We can afford a lot of things these days. Yep, free. Okay, and copper wire. 6 off. Can you do that twice? Redstone. Find iron. That's one of our electronic circuits. So we can just put that copper wire back now, since we're not going to need it. Nope, you don't go there just yet. So every 2 seconds that timer goes off and it tries to put something new into the macerator. If I was hearing that, I could put that down as low as it would go, and there's a Lapratron crystal, which holds, I think it's 1 million energy. It's like our bat box held for 4,000 or something, not 4,000, 10,000, something like that. And this MFE holds 600,000, so this would drain the whole thing quite a bit. But we're not using it for power storage, at least not today. Okay, and our next ingredient for the fabricator is 2 advanced circuits, which are going to require us to summon forth some lapis. Let's see, we're going to need 4 lapis for this. And we can get some glowstone here as well. They need 4 of that, and we got a bunch of redstone, so I'm not going to get some of that out of this. Okay, just put that back there. Let's see, I'm going to need to get a couple more regular circuits to make an advanced circuit. Yeah, let's just grab that, shall we? Which does mean we need to cook a bit more iron. But that's not a huge problem. So yeah, that's our furnace. We might try upgrading to an induction furnace, which, the hotter it gets, the faster it will cook items, and also has 2 output slots. But I don't think we'll bother, because we can actually get, things like the dark matter furnace and the red matter furnace, which cook things more or less instantaneously for each object. Have a huge number of inputs and outputs, and with with your usual things like, iron dust, have the chance of doubling the output. The dark matter, I think it's 1 in 10. The red matter, it's always. But that's usually just for the standard kind of stuff. Which is pretty cool, I'd say. Need the redstone. Yeah, apparently we have a pest control problem. I've been thinking of installing an actual Tesla coil outside, but then I realized that would kill me as well. Scrub that up a bit. Okay, and those go there, that goes there, these go there, to there, and that makes our advanced circuits. So that covers that. We just need the advanced machine blocks now, and they're a bit trickier to put together. So we're going to need to make a compressor. I don't think we have one of those. We have an extractor, I don't know much. No, we don't have a compressor, but they're easy enough to make. Oop. Let's get that out, shall we? That's why I need the sorting systems, really. Okay, so an compressor. We can upgrade it to a singularity compressor, which functions sort of the same way as the furnace. Okay. Let's just cook up half of this. Save us some time later. What's that recipe? Okay, so we are gonna need a circuit. Right, which means more copper. And again, let's just cook up a whole ton of this. Save us some time. Okay, and the old trick to distributing evenly. Just keep going until one side is double the other. Okay, we don't need to worry about the scales much there, because we've got so much. There we go. 54 wire. So let's get our circuit. And one more, and that'll get us our machine block. Eesh, my clicking is off today. Okay, and was that stone? Yep, that's smooth stone, which thankfully we just happen to have some on hand. Okay, machine block there. Regular circuit there, that gets our compressor. Which for some reason I just tried to craft again, but don't worry. Now there aren't that many uses to a compressor, but you can use it for making ice out of snowballs. So you can use it to autonomically cool down. Yep, there we go, full power. You can use it to autonomically cool down a nuclear reactor, but we are completely bereft of the capacity to get a nuclear reactor, so that's not much of a problem for us now. Mixed metal ingot is what we need to do to get this advanced alloy. And that requires refined iron, some bronze, and some tin. Bronze is a bit of a pain to get, because we need tin dust and copper dust. But that's why I haven't been pumping things over. So there's the tin. And into the crafting. There we go. And now we do need to cook this up. And we don't need that much of it. We only need 3 of it. Because every time we try and make it, you get 2, and that's all that we need. Oh no, actually we need 2 each, don't we? So we need 4 of it. But that's not a big problem. We can handle that. Whoop. And we're out of power again. Let's just dump this in. This is why we need to actually get a more stable power supply. It's a problem that Dave is running into on the server as it happens, because he's drained, I think it's 2 different volcanoes now, and he's running out of lava. Because he's using it to power his quarry, among other things. Clickety-click. But I have some big plans of how to run power around here. We'll see those soon. Right, that's all we need there. Do I have any tin? Yes, I do. Of course I do, these days. Okay. Make our nice little rainbow. A weird rainbow, an industrial kind of rainbow, but a rainbow nonetheless. Okay, and we stick these metal ingots into the compressor. And that will very slowly, you can get a singularity compressor to upgrade the speed, give us our advanced alloys. And while we're waiting for that, I actually need even more refined iron. So I'll just wait for that to finish. There we go. And just stick these dusts over here. Sort. There we go. Okay, that's 1. That's 2. So, what do we need next? Well, we're going to need to make some carbon fibers. which you can see here, some carbon plates, which you get from raw carbon mesh, which you get from raw carbon fiber, which you get from coal dust, which you get from macerating coal. So we'll grab a ton of that and stick it into the macerator. Still have our handy dandy Klein star, so that's going to help us a lot. Oh, we can't stick you back in there. This is going to be a fairly power-intensive episode, I can see. Still macerating tin, but looks like we have a lot of tin. Tin, unfortunately, is not worth all that much. Okay, but it's pumping out of this automatically, so we can leave that for the moment. Okay, that's all the advanced alloys that we need. Okay, that's all the refined iron that we need to make the regular machine blocks. So we're just waiting on the carbon now. Now, carbon is, or at least the carbon fibers are a big ingredient when you're looking at the nanosuit armor, which is this stuff. And that's kind of the first level of super armor as far as the industrial craft stuff goes. You can make your nano saber, your nanosuit helmet. All of these require energy crystals, and all of them contain, I believe it's 100,000 energy units. So about a sixth of this is a singular NFE. Or I could be off by a factor of 10 by that, actually. Okay, and now 4 of these coal dusts. Just 1 carbon fiber, and it takes 2 of those to make a carbon mesh, which we then stick back into our compressor and turn into a carbon plate. So we need to macerate a fair dump of coal. So let's just... let's see, what else can we get going here? There's one thing I do enjoy having, which is these alchemy bags, which are basically like having one of these chests, but as like an item in your inventory. So you can just stick stuff into it. Let's see if we can get one of those going, can we? Because they're not that expensive. Yeah, in fact I can probably afford one right now. Alchemical chest. Oh, but we need some wool. Fortunately, thanks to the extra mobs around, we can get wool. So there's our one piece of wool. Do we have one in here? Oh, we actually do. But I want to be making some blue wool, because I like blue. Blue is my favorite color by far. Let's get some blue dye, shall we? Yeah, that's just regular blue wool. Okay, and a piece of wool, and we got some blue wool, which I'll stick in here to be learned. So we need 5 of those. Stick that back in there. And we're going to need the covalence dust. Let's see, that's the... is that the final tier? Yeah, that's the final tier, I believe. Final tier of covalence dust. Oop. That could have gone badly. Okay, 3 across. U-shape. And our alchemical chest, and that gives us our alchemy bag, which we can now fill with all manner of gubbins that we don't want to lose, because this alchemy bag basically serves as a persistent storage. If you think of the recent ender chests, that's basically how this bag functions. It's a persistent storage, which means that it's got its own little entity, not unlike how the world had its own entity. So if you go to the Nether, or if you go to the overworld or whatever, then you have the same storage in your ender chest, and that's basically the way that this works. Okay, that gives us 1 carbon mesh, which we'll stick in there. And we'll just keep on waiting for that to go. But now that we've got that, I'm going to stick some power into our Klein star, because that's running a bit low. Fortunately, I did discover that I can do this without having to worry whatsoever about any of the EMC requirements. So let's just stick some power into our Klein star. That should be more than enough for a while. Should we recharge this? Yeah, let's give this some power. Since we're apparently not using some in here. Generally speaking, it's good to have a backlog of power, but if you have it, you could probably do with using it. And there's our pest control problem. We're knocking at the door again. So let's go. So can we go out the side? Better yet, actually, there is a way we can go that they're not going to follow us at all. Which is directly through here, thanks to our Vulcanite amulet. Alley-oop. I've had to turn the render distance down. Because of our issues with lag, but not that gigantic an issue. Whoop, like that. Now also in the series, Gar has been having trouble with the pigmen, and there's been a lot of people in his comments telling him that the problem he's been having is due entirely to his use of the catalyst, the destruction catalyst like this. I can tell you with absolute certainty that that's not true, because the way the catalyst works is it sort of just checks the blocks in an area and then deletes them and adds them into a loot ball. So it doesn't actually, for the most part, pick them up. What actually sets the blocks off, like that, is the change of block state around them. So there is absolutely nothing involved with the cataclysm, the destruction catalyst, that causes any kind of detonation effect like that. And similarly, because it's not triggering the Netherall's coding, it cannot be upsetting the pigmen. It doesn't detect that it's being mined, so it can't affect the pigmen at all. Whoop. Bad rat. Bat. Hate the little things. Right, let's go this way. I don't have much to worry about with the lava, but it will destroy my lootage. I want to get some of this coal. Is that on? Yep, it was. A shame. And if you also pick them up before they explode like that, they won't explode at all, because there's nothing left anymore to tell it when to explode. Because, you know, if you know how TNT, if you light it and it then has a slight period of time where it's lit and triggered and flashing and whatnot, and it's about to explode, but it doesn't just yet. The Netheralls have a similar function, except whereas the TNT is actually like triggering a tide, it's spawning an entity. The Netheralls have an internal counter. So if you get rid of the ore block, there's nothing left to cause the TNT. Well, that's interesting to see. What do we have on us? Still a fair bit of space, really. And plus we have our new bag, so we have a ton of space. On a few different servers I've got an array of these alchemy bags, sorted by type. So like I've got a red one for putting redstone in, and a purple one for putting tools and stuff in. Let's head back. To grab this, because as we are, we're invulnerable to fire at this point. Which was our way here. Nice. We've got our texture now that has makes it a lot easier to tell what is diamond and what isn't. Going down. So like that versus that. Makes it a lot easier now. I'm still not entirely sure what this jittering is. It might be due to the fact that you can move very quickly on the surface of lava while you've got a Vulcanite amulet on you. In theory, we could have our entire base full of lava now, but as you can see, we still move fairly slowly when we're inside of it. So I don't see much reason to. Okay, and the way that I have this set up, which is that anything that isn't on this list goes right back into the macerating chest and gets pulled back in to be remacerated. So the nether ores will get macerated either to their products, depending on which ones they are, or into... Yep. Yeah. There you go. Or into another form of ore like these. It'll just get pulled straight through again. And you are out of fuel. Oop. Not sure what that was. Well, apparently Steam has finished downloading Gary's mod, which is a game I haven't played for years. But I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I guess the phrase would be infamous, to a degree, inside of Gary's mod back when I was playing it. Cause I focused on making drones. There's an add-on for Gary's mod called Wire Mod, which allows you to program little chips that make things fire or find stuff and all sorts. And I specialized in making sort of pseudo-artificial intelligence. I can't really call them actual artificial intelligence based on what I'm learning in college now. Well, university. School of Computing, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, but they were like hunter-killer drones, and there was guys that would go looking for resources, because there's a special service in Gary's mod that have, like, sort of a pseudo-Minecraft resource-gathering kind of affair going on. But yeah, that was that. But yeah, I haven't played it for ages, because the computer I was using at the time kind of died. And lost a whole bunch of information. But, oh well, it's a fun thing to check out, I'd say. And there's a slime around. And we're not going to let him drive me insane this time, are we? Nope, not this time. And this will be the last of our carbon plates that we need. So that's good. Because we only need 4 of them. So let's hit up our advanced thing again. Did I only make the 1? No, I did make the 2, that's good. Okay, so there's a 4. Let's grab our machine blocks, our alloys, and I believe we need glowstone. Oh, no we don't. Hurrah, hurrah. But we do need our philosopher's stone. Okay, so let's click here to stick that in. Okay, those there, and there. I guess those are 2 machine blocks. So now, we need our advanced circuits, our Lapatron crystal. There is something else I'm missing here, aren't there? No, there isn't. There's just the glowstone, which we can sneak out of in here. Just shove that in there. We can pull out the dust. Okay, and that's dust in the corners, circuits top and bottom, machine blocks on the side, and a crystal in the middle, and that gets us our mass fabricator. This thing is going to eat a lot of power. Like, a lot of power. You could practically hook it up to a nuclear reactor and it will still take ages. But the reason that we have it right now is that it generates a thing called UU matter, which has a hidden recipe inside of the this whole debacle. It generates it very slowly unless you have a recycler, which we can't really make, I don't think, nor do we have much we could shove into it. But UU matter you can take in various quantities and in various arrangements inside the crafting grid. We could make this. There wouldn't be much point to it, but we could. But yeah, you can use it to make things like feathers, so we could make a flying ring, or we could use it to make clay, so that we can get an alloy furnace, and all sorts. Our mercurial eye will be handy around here. Or we could even just, like, get mycelium and make a terraformer. Oop, hang on. No, there isn't something in there. But yeah, getting UU matter will be very handy. But it does take a lot of power. So let's grab a stack. And yes, this is coal, but we can fix that. Turn it into 4 stacks of charcoal. Quite why it keeps doing that, I don't know. And we may... I think in an episode or two, we're probably going to try to set up a form of lava-based fuel. Because certainly it's one of the most abundant things around here. And shove that in there. This slime really is going to drive me nuts. And I'll bet he's on the ceiling somewhere. I will bet that 2 money. Or he could be right outside our front door, actually. Judging by all the noise that's coming around here. I should put some windows in, really. In fact, yeah, let's put some windows in. Do I have any glass? Not yet, but we can fix that rather easily. Yeah, that's going to take a long time. We will probably not be seeing the products of that for a while. Okay, just grab some glass. I can imagine we're going to have to fight some things in the process of this check, but we'll see. Let's see, that's pig zombles. I can hear that there's a bunch of rats and stuff over in this direction, but they're probably directly underneath us. Yep, there we are. At least there's one of them. Howdy. Let's see where this slime is. There he is. Oh, and he had some kids. A pity. Yeah, this cavern gets ever larger. And Gara started doing more or less the same thing, but that's how he managed to get into the discussion, I should say, with his subscriber base as to what was causing the pigmen to persistently hate him. And I really don't know what it is, because there is nothing in the code of the destruction catalyst that should be causing them to be mad at him for mining the ores on the netherrack or anything. What the hell, let's get this recycler up then. Recycler takes in junk, basically, and it converts it into scrap, which you can shove into the mass fabricator to make it run faster. We're going to need our compressor, so we're going to use that just yet. Okay, we're going to need a bunch more refined iron. But that's fine, because we've got diamonds and glowstone building in the back, so we can just grab whatever we like, really, more or less. It's a shame we can't get ender pearls, because there's a device inside of equivalent exchange referred to as the Void Ring, which allows you, fairly simply, among other things, I often call it the douche ring for a bunch of things that it does, but it allows you to press R and it will teleport you. That's very handy for getting around. Oop. There we go. Grab that. Grab those. Make that. Make that. New compressor. And we need 3 pieces of dirt and a bit of glowstone dust as well. Unfortunately, we can make dirt, so we don't need to worry too much about it. Do I have any glowstone dust in here? Yes, I do. Okay, so there we go. Recycler. We can probably hook this up today to automatically be shifting whatever it gets into our mass fabricator, speed things along. And you can see this is beginning to take up quite a bit of room, so we're going to be probably shifting the machines over later. Let's just shift that back into alkaline style. Am I carrying some golden wires? No, I'm not. And I don't want to shove any copper wires onto this full thing, because we've seen what happens when we do that, haven't we? Namely that things explode. How's that doing for fuel? Not bad. That's not doing well at keeping up, but not bad. So yep, that's got full power. And now if we stick something in there, it will have a chance of turning it into scrap. Now, we could go and stick all of our like absolute junk in there, which is entirely plausible, but we would have a very small chance of getting any scrap out of it. Because it's the more valuable it is, the higher the chance it is of actually producing scrap. Unfortunately, I'm not sure exactly under what conditions it defines valuable. There we go. You can hear that ticking away in the background. But yeah, if you stick in a stack of diamonds, you will generally get a couple dozen scrap. Well, that's if you stick a couple stacks, if you stick in a stack of diamond blocks, actually. But we're not quite at that stage just yet. And to make clay, we are going to need 5 UU matter. We're only at 14% for this. It takes about 30 odd scrap to make this run at top speed, and even that's not particularly quick. Let's see, what can we do? Oh, we can start shipping things over, can't we? How much am I carrying in here? Good. That's a condenser, alchemical chests. 9 of them, but we don't find a use for some of these. We'll just take them back in, because, hey, equivalent exchange, let's just do that. Okay. And that's all for now, but that's not a problem. Let's see, let's stick earth materials into their own little chest. Here. So everything you can get in the overworld and whatnot. Let's stick nether materials into there. Well, actually, let's give netherrack its own chest, because we're not going to find much use for it. Okay, and there we'll have soul sand and nether brick. Okay, that's one chest empty. Coal and coal derivatives can have its own chest over here. Nothing more in there. Let's redstone back. Wires and pipes. Those generally go into the same bag as far as I'm concerned. I don't really have much way to note which is which, so you're probably going to see me doing what I do quite a bit in Anether Expedition, which is rifling through my own chests to find something that I've misplaced. But not that huge deal, I think. Rubber. Let's shift this one over here. Stick our rubber in there. Our refined iron. Not sure what else to put in that chest. Yep, there's some refined iron. Alchemical stuff can probably have its own chest. Yep. And we'll put next to that the industrial stuff, so locks and whatnot. Tools. So we don't misplace those. And we need somewhere for valuable minerals, really, don't we? Okay, screw that. Ah, wait, we can't screw that. That makes this a little trickier. I need to think about how to do that. Of course, the easiest thing would probably just to make would be to just punch it. I'm not sure where to put fire. I guess we'll need a miscellaneous chest of some kind. Beep. That was a mild mistake. But not to worry. Okay. This goes in our tool chest. I believe that rubber tree saplings will go in there. We don't have a food chest. We don't have many chests, really, at the moment. But we can quickly resolve that. Oh, actually... Oh, nab that. Patch up this hole. There we go. Less gaping holes in our rooms now. This episode has suddenly become rather low-key, it would seem. But not a big problem. Not a big problem. I get us another 5. Which is actually way more than we presently have space for. But as we expand this area, we'll probably have a chest for each individual item. So let's put our minerals and such here. Which includes everything that's currently in our valuables chest. Whoop. And that's one interesting thing, is that wooden chests still are treated as wooden, but alchemical chests are treated as some form of rock. I don't particularly know why this is, but it is. Which is why the mining drill digs through them very quickly. And technically some of these things aren't minerals, but they're valuable, so let's take them in anyway. Okay, so now we know where those are. We'll condense these back so we can get some more power into our Klein star, but we'll check biologicals and whatnot, and mob drops and such in there. Which we don't have much more of, it would seem. Are we carrying any? Let's see, we're carrying some netherrack. Some drops there, some redstone, earthen materials. Yeah, we can stick all of this back in. Okay, so that goes in there. Nope, nothing for that. Some for that. Some valuables. Covalent stuff will probably go over there. Drops. Technically that's a drop around here, but we'll leave that out. We don't have any wires. Any coal derivatives. Oh, actually, we put some charcoal over here, didn't we? Because it should go in here. Okay, some redstone. And there's one of the stone anodes I used for the timer. Yes, that's where the rest of that went. Nothing. And nothing. What we could do is eventually, I believe you can use your matter to get reeds, which will allow us to make a talisman of repair to have in here and in an alchemy bag. So we can repair things while running around. Which is very handy. Is this still going? Do we have... Nope, we do not. Oh dear. Well, let's stick these torches in, because we don't have much use for them. And these have a very low chance, I believe, of getting any kind of output. Oh, there we go. It's always good to have a nice cup of tea nearby when you're doing this. Yep, that amplifier is a very rapidly decreasing number. In fact, it's decreasing rapidly faster than we can really measure it. But no matter, we're getting a lot of stuff out of the way. And let's stick these into our Klein star. That's a bit of power. Looks so lonely now, doesn't it? Yep, that weird computery from the 80s kind of noise in the background as our mass fabricator running. You can tell how far advanced it is from everything else that we have, because look, this one is like rusted iron, this is like full-blown steel. Not much we can do there. Okay, so storage to storage room done. that back in as well. Move machines to machine shop. We can't really do that while that's running, for the most part. Not without interrupting it anyway, and it hasn't even made one piece of matter just yet. Automate the mastering. Ideally, we need to do that as well. Automate tree harvesting. Tree harvesting is a good way to get EMC. Because logs themselves are, I believe, 32 EMC. And there's a few ways that we can do that, but the one that I particularly favour is going to require some redstone and a fair bit of off-camera work. I'm going to need some glass. 6 glass to be precise, to make some glass panes. And if you happen to have any particular, oop, that's a lot more than I needed, but oh well. If you happen to have any particular insight into what I've been playing around with recently, or if you've been watching the Dragon Hats videos, then you probably have a decent idea of what I'm going to make. I won't make that, because there's, for some bizarre reason, glass has an EMC, but glass panes don't. It's very strange. I don't know why that is. Excuse me. But there's our computer. And I'm going to need some iron from our valuables chest now. A little less than that. Keep one for all manner of other things, but now we need a chest. Figures I just got rid of a bunch. But no problem, we can just get rid of these. Okay. Chest there, computer there, iron around it. Rather simple, really. Makes a turtle. Turtle! Now what these things are, is that they are little robots that you can program to do all manner of things. The simplest being excavation, which comes with them as standard as a mining. It has a mining turtle. And I need to make a actual diamond pick, because I don't think we ever did that in this series, because we just went straight for the mining drill. But you actually do need a diamond pick for what I'm about to do. Which is, if we combine a turtle with a diamond pickaxe, we get a mining turtle. And these little guys are really handy, because they can dig, they can break blocks, and in fact they can break every single block at exactly the same speed, which is to say fairly quick. This includes obsidian. It doesn't include adminium, as many people still call it, but it doesn't include bedrock. But it does include pretty much every single other block in existence. So I can set this little guy to mining wherever I want him to, and away he'll go, breaking it all up. But what we're going to be programming him to do is we're going to set him up and see if he detects a tree in front of him, and if he does, he'll start taking it apart. And once he's finished detecting tree, he'll come back down and plant another sapling. It's a lumberjack kind of program that I've been working on for a while, which is a lot of fun. Because, hey, I like programs. And, as I mentioned earlier, I spent most of my Gary's mod time making drones and artificially intelligent things. And I really like them. It's why I'm studying them at uni. It does go a bit derpy on the rendering of the pickaxe, but I suspect that's due more to the texture pack than anything else. But yes, we have our first turtle. My instinct is to call him Larry, but that ended up badly the last time I did that. But we can make them more or less en masse. There's probably a few ways that I can automate generation of mining turtles, so we can have them doing all sorts of things around the place. I don't know if they have access to a couple of the newer functions, which include attacking things. If that's an easy way to check. If we just search turtle. Yes, we do. In fact, there's a felling turtle for trees, a digging turtle, wireless farming turtles, guys that can craft, guys that can attack. Ah, we have access to the full range of things. The guys on Dave doesn't. The guys on Dave's server don't. Which means I probably should have made a diamond axe. well, not that huge a problem. Still, that means that they can suck up items as well, and it means they can do all sorts of very handy and nifty things. So we'll get to programming, and well, I will get to programming, because programming whilst you're on camera is as boring as sin. But yes, that will automate our tree farming, quite happily. Figure out a door system. We haven't done much on the list here, it would seem. Has it gone 1? Nope, this is still a fair distance from a single 1. But let's make a couple more computers while we have the materials on us. Well, another computer, because that's all the stone we have on hand. And I'm gonna want to make a disk drive. Ooh, which actually raises a bit of a problem, as I recall. Because, yeah, that requires paper, which is going to require matter to get reads. Ah, that's a pain. I can still probably use a computer for what I'm thinking of, but basically there's, you can write an API, which is sort of a list of functions that you can use to, like, make things a lot easier on yourself, rather than having to write the same things over and over and over and over and over again. And you can have a file in Turtles and such called startup, which is what it does when it first boots, when it first turns on. And you can use that to have a turtle and other stuff automatically install things in themselves whenever they load up. So you can use it to automatically install APIs. And the usual way you do that is with a disk, but I guess I'll have to forego that. That's not too much of a problem, really. But yeah, I've been doing a bunch of stuff with turtles. I've made pathfinders. Well, I've programmed the basics of A-star pathfinding, which is the version of pathfinding I'm most familiar with, because I used that for Gary's mod. In fact, I believe there's a video still floating around about that somewhere. Yup. Yeah, I called the Cronus Pathfinder. Or Chronoid Pathfinder, to be more precise, because it was for a drone called Cronus. Which sadly didn't come to fruition very much. But, yeah, I've given programmers, I've given, Pathfinders, I've given, detection, I've given all sorts. There's a few turtles floating around Dave's server, actually. Which I don't believe I can yet reveal the origins of. But, I happen to have been present at the time, and I happen to know who did it. But, it's more fun to watch them squirm on that notion. If you watched a recent video of mine, you may have seen a hint as to who is responsible, but I can't reveal that just yet. But anyways, I think that will do for now. It's about an hour's recording, more or less. So I will get a stockpile of UU matter going, and I'll shift the machines over. And I guess next time we'll work on doing some more automation. We'll see what I've come up with the turtles. We might figure out the door system, but we will most definitely be improving our power source. I'm going to stop sounding like I've gone very hoarse, so I shall catch you next time.